They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard, you know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes, then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language to
You have
get
to
it
use
stopped.
strong language. Everyone's
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No?
But do you
He did it very affectionately. Daddy, you're my daddy.
What's up, everybody? This is Mike. Today we're going to look at this video coming out of the NATO summit that happened a couple of days ago, where Secretary General Mark Rutte, the head of NATO, actually gave Donald Trump the glazing of a lifetime. I don't know where Melania was during all of this. She had to be jealous looking at all this praise being showered upon her husband. This is a really incredible video just because I've never seen, you know, Barack Obama, with all his flaws, I don't know if I've ever seen people praise somebody as much. Even Obama. I mean, Obama was a dynamic speaker, could deliver a hell of a speech. I don't even know if I've seen this type of glazing and praise and gushing over over an American president. Anyway, why don't we look at this glazing, this, you know.
I just want to recognize your decisive action on Iran.
Thank you.
You are a man of strength, but you're also a man of peace. And the fact that you are now also successful in getting this ceasefire done between Israel and Iran, I really want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
And I think this is important for the whole world. Then on spending, it's absolutely true. I want to state here, without President Trump, this would not have happened. In 3 stages. When you became president in 2016, 2017, you forced Europeans and Canadians to pay more. At this moment, the result of that phase is 1 trillion extra aggregate defense spending by the Canadians and the Europeans. Then came phase 2, when you became president in January last year. Phase 2 is that all the countries not yet on 2% have now committed to the 2%. This is the old goal from Wales in 2014. 7 were not on 2%. Some were saying somewhere in the 2030s. Now this year, all of them, including Canada, including Italy, including Belgium, they have all now committed to the 2%. And now comes the big splash. Today, we will decide to go to 5%. We have to keep ourselves safe from our adversaries, but also because it is fair to equalize with the United States. With this 5%, the Europeans and the Canadians will equalize their defense spending with the United States. So this is not about American taxpayers paying more. This is about Europeans, Canadians paying more. And again, this would not have happened. I'm really saying this here. And some people might criticize me, but then when I speak with them, they all say, yes, you're right. This would not have happened.
I can see when Donald Trump is getting these big tech giants to commit to a certain amount of investment, getting NATO partners to increase their spending from 2% to 5%. I think it's just right now, maybe it doesn't necessarily benefit us in terms of what we see in our wallets and bank accounts. But if we're talking about national security, keeping our friends abroad a little bit more safe, us being able to sleep a little bit better at night. I think this is a huge and tremendous success, especially if you're talking about the ceasefire deal. Hopefully this will go through being negotiated by the Trump administration. Right now, I gotta tell you, I'm in love with Mark Rubio. I had no idea he had this type of fire in his belly.
Marco, do you have something to say?
No, first of all, on this stuff about the intelligence, this is what a leaker is telling you the intelligence says. That's the game these people play. They read it, and then they go out and characterize it the way they want it characterized, and they're leakers. This is the game they play. So that's number 1. Number 2, here's a fact. The conversion facility, which you can't do a nuclear weapon without a conversion facility. We can't even find where it is, where it used to be on the map. You can't even find where it used to be because the whole thing is just blackened out. It's gone.
It's wiped out.
It's wiped out. Then we dropped 12 of the strongest bombs on the planet right down the hole in 2 places. Everything underneath that mountain is in bad shape. And I refer you to the statement of the IAEA, Mr. Grossi. Yeah. You know what he said? He said there was Iran, the way it looked the day before the attack, and what their nuclear program looks like now. 2 very different things. They are way behind where they were just 7 days ago. Now, anything in the world can be rebuilt, but now we know where it is. And if they try to rebuild it, we'll have options there as well. But all this leaker stuff, these leakers are professional stabbers. That's what they are. They go out and they read this stuff, and then they tell you what it says against the law, but they characterize it for you in a way that's absolutely fault.
It's just really unfortunate to see CNN and other networks not necessarily not get on board, because I know it's just their job to demonize everything the Trump administration does. But it would be nice once and for all to just say, hey, good job, give the man an applause, give the man his due. I think to be able to create a ceasefire environment, get some negotiations, bring some people to the table, I just think it's a really fabulous time to be an American, because you can see the exercise of power. And I really can tell you, I almost believe this 4 years off that Donald Trump had served him well. He went back to the drawing board. He sharpened his tools. I don't know if this man changed because of the assassination attempt, but this man is really grounded, more focused, more intentional. He's not wasting a whole lot of time. It's straight to the point. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So when I look at the Trump administration right now, this version of Trump is far superior than that 2016 version. He's just better. He's just more presidential. And for anybody out there that might say this man is out of control and didn't go through a congressional hearing to be able to drop these bombs on Iran, you're fooling yourself. You Democrats out there, you guys are nothing but hypocrites. He didn't get congressional hearing. He's exercising his power.
He bypassed Congress, potentially violated the War Powers Resolution. I believe this is certainly a clear violation of international law, at the very least. Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries accused the president of misleading the country as to his intentions. What do you think are the possible ramifications that President Trump could face for arguably overstepping his authority?
Well, look, constitutionally, only Congress has the power to declare war. The War Powers Act would make it seem very clear you need to have congressional approval on this. But president after president after president has launched military action without the approval of Congress.
Yeah.
And Congress, under Democratic and Republican leadership, has complained the president is violating the War Powers Act. This is not new. I mean, I go back. I covered Bill Clinton and the military strikes against Kosovo back in 1999. Again,
That's why I think it's more of an international law violation.
But look, it's a Republican Congress right now. I don't think he's not getting any blowback from within his own party.
If Donald Trump can consecutively solve this deal in Israel and Iran, and then pivot to that, and then maybe make some peace, finally get a negotiation between Ukraine and Russia, I'd have to say if they gave Barack Obama the Nobel Peace Prize, I think you really have to take into some consideration that you might extend the same type of award to Donald Trump. I think for what he's done behind the scenes, even though I know mainstream media networks don't want to give this man any praise or any credit whatsoever, I don't even know how you can exist in this life right now as an American and not just give credit where credit is due. I know the media is to be objective, to call out some of the wrongdoings, not to be biased and just not be impartial, just call balls and strikes.
He knows that the lower courts cannot carte blanche stop him, which hugely increases the power of the executive.
Yeah, look, this is a great week for him, not just because of this ruling, but earlier in the week, the Supreme Court handed him the ruling on being able to deport illegal immigrants to third-party countries, essentially. So he's on a little bit of a winning streak in the courts right now. And what a lot of Republicans are saying is, nope, we're not tired of winning yet. This happened. The stock market's at a record high. He brokered the ceasefire in the 12-day war. The peace broke out between Rwanda and the Congo. I mean, gas prices are at a 4-year low for the summer. I mean, win after win after win. And this particular one is the most important because these individual judges had been, I think, unfairly stopping the president from governing. He won the election. They did. We don't have 600 presidents. We have one president. And now he's going to be able to actually govern. And so you could make an argument that this week or the last 2 weeks, the best week or 2 weeks of his entire presidency.
I hope after this NATO summit, and again, if he can solve this situation between Ukraine and Russia, I'd have to say this might be one of the greatest presidents I've seen in my particular lifetime. Maybe, I don't know Washington, I don't know Lincoln, but for me in my lifetime, in my 5 decades on this planet Earth, Donald Trump might go down as one of the best presidents in my lifetime. I'm very uncertain. I sleep on pins and needles at night because I'm in a NATO country. I live in Poland. So I feel this situation next door to me at basically arm's reach in Ukraine. I'm an extremely nervous American. So I'm very happy about Donald Trump. I'm very pleased with the exercise of power. This type of leader, for what's happening in the world as of today, where it actually stands in real time, I don't know if you would want another leader. I don't know if Bernie Sanders is the man I would want in office. I don't know if Hillary Clinton, maybe not even Hillary Clinton, but who were some of the other people? Jeb Bush, he would have been done by now. Kamala Harris, like, can you imagine Kamala Harris in this role right now, having to make these hard decisions? Although I know the president has some limitations of power, I don't know if I would want Kamala Harris. And it doesn't matter if she's a Democrat or a woman. I just her presence as a leader, it doesn't resonate with me. So I think Donald Trump is just showing true leadership. He's extremely presidential right now. Donald Trump is at his best when he's natural. When he speaks off the cuff and it's not rehearsed, this is the best version of Donald Trump because he's measured, he's calculated, and he's more deliberate in his speech. He's very intentional in what his messaging is. So right now, for me, this is a victory for America. This is a great time to be an American. Anyway, this is Mike. Let me know what you think about my commentary. I really appreciate it. Until the next one, peace. May God be with you. May God be with everybody. May God be with Donald Trump. Peace.
If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No?
Do you
He did.
regard-
He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.